Welcome to Kick a Legend, where we help you athleticize your art and put art into your fight. So here we're going to put some art into your fight at MKG Detroit with Kurt. He's going to show us 3 ways to execute the shoulder stop in the dirty boxing or Pontukan mindset.
Okay, so shoulder stop is something that we see in a lot of different arts. We usually train it here at MKG Detroit in our dirty boxing class, also JKD, but it's going to exist anywhere. So he's going to throw this wide right or overhand right hand, and I'm just jamming this up here. Right, so it's a straightforward idea. It's almost caveman in its simplicity, which is wonderful. Okay, so this can be done to the forearm, to the bicep, to the shoulder, to the chest, to his face. Sometimes I like to cut the inside of the elbow here like this, which kind of causes it to hinge and breaks the structure down. So we're going to look at this 3 ways, which is to say 3 body positions when we implement this. You can add a lot more to your list. We're going to give you 3 to get started. So the first one is stationary. This one we don't usually teach, at least in the beginning, because the success rate for it can be a little dicey. If I'm staying here and I just stop this right out the gate and I don't move, there's still a good chance that this is going to connect, right? I have to really jam this in. So it might be possible that we do this. It's worth examining it, especially if the timing is such that I don't have the time, the luxury to move my feet and to do a bunch of cool stuff, and I have to just put something up, right? So at least it stalls it out so I'm not just eating 100% of this hand. To add to this, to ensure that we're not just getting pummeled with whatever his second beat is going to be, we're going to go from 1 to 2. So from the inside line, we fill here like this with the open hand. The MKG perspective typically is that we would stop and then slap. The slap is nice because it's concussive, the way that the palm hits the ear, but it also gives me access to his eye, right? So if we move his locks out of the way here, when the hand hits, my thumb automatically knows where his eye is just by virtue of him having a relatively normal structured human face, right? So from a self-defense perspective, that's valuable, that on this angle we stop this, hit, and then immediately go to swiping or scratching to the eye like this, okay? So one more time, we're in place, 1 and 2, right? Almost just shoving that arm out of the way, bang, filling and swiping and then following up. So my number 2 option is I'm going to step right laterally to create more space between my body and the power line of his right hand. So as that punch comes in, just by virtue of stepping, I've created a little more room here. So even if I do get hit, if my structure is not real great and he's able to get through, then it's kind of incidental contact as opposed to just eating this whole thing. So again, moving and jamming this up. Now, if we look at this angle, right, if I've not stepped too deep, I still have a relatively good base, good foot position. My position here is that I'm angled off from him and can start filling right away with just basic body and head punches. In particular, when he throws this hand, Roy is where his chin is moved and his hand is still on the far side. So all of this is available to me. So I don't even need to move my base. I can fill right away. Now in the event that he throws this hand, but his left one stays in the center, it's not back like this, then when I step, I don't have options here, right? So it may serve me to then bring that foot back, especially if you're hitting pads, it's good to get reps on this, to bring that foot back and have a really good base, square back up and throw that cross. So as you're bringing your foot with you, you're loading that shot up and firing it down the middle. So again, jamming this gun, stepping in and following up. One more time, step out, step in, and follow up.
So, by the way, if you decided, I'm going to shoulder stop that next time he throws his right, which happens sometimes, especially when we're just playing around, right? We're trying to learn the movement, so we're trying to force the issue. If I decide to punch straight, that's the one that might work, right? If you don't move, you just have no line. If you go straight in, you kind of have a lever line, but it's not a stop. On the straight delivery, if I move, I kind of got something, right? Maybe not ideal, but that's the one that maybe partially why we teach it first is even if I read it wrong, I kind of got something.
Yeah. If this is coming out in a real wide loop, I mean, a lot of us, if we're feeding for training, you might see where this sort of thing comes out, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the person in front of you is going to punch this big. You might have some sort of windmill haymaker thing, which again, from a street or self-defense perspective, is good to be mindful of. But an educated boxer probably, or striker, is not going to hit real huge like this, and it's going to come tighter down the middle. So that stationary one, as we prefaced, would be less than ideal for exactly that reason. Where if he moves that right foot over, bang, even that tight overhand right, where really just my elbow has come up, has given him the space to put that hand in place.
And you notice that even though I knew it was coming, I still had to take it forearm. It still wasn't a super clean stop with the hand, even though that's what I was going for.
So, option number 3 is we had one stationary, we had one zoning away from his power side. We're going to have one where we just go straight in. So same idea, that overhand comes in or the wide right comes in, and I'm stopping, but as I do so, I just stop and dive, okay? So this could go into your clinch work or to whatever your close range fighting looks like for you. But again, we're here and going straight in. If his hand is in the middle, that's fine, we're just going to remove it. We might even have some contact here, head to shoulder in the process, like that, and following up. So it's sort of diving in this almost funnel towards the center line position, but in route, taking that with us. I like to actually make contact with the forearm here as I'm coming in. I like to just jam it up, so I have the mindset of having hands here and just diving. Maybe one is covering and one is hitting. Maybe they're both just diving into grab. Shouldn't necessarily matter as long as we're making contact. Again, from this perspective, I can dive in and stop with the hand and then come to here. Or just go straight to the forearm, bang, like that. This is nice because it gives me the ability to wrap right away, at least for my skill set, right? Where 1 and then 2, as opposed to just bang, and it's already wrapped because I made contact deeper with the forearm. So all of your wrenching and whatever your follow-ups are from here are immediately available.
Hope you found that useful. Give it a try. You can do this with no gloves. You can practice this with focus mitts on. I just wanted to do a quick little episode here showcasing some of Kurt's dirty boxing here at MKG Detroit. Make sure you check them out if you're in the Ferndale area. In the meantime, this is World Kick Legend. Keep your chin down, elevate your striking.